Yeah. Neat Nicole likes to boast. Bent Jordan likes to roast. Sir Charles keeps it crisp. Q's the butter to the toast. Now it's time to keep it real. Competition not close. One stop for debating. Reality shows and this kids be the most. I'll be damn. I'll be damn. I'll be damn. Podcast going ham. I'll be damn.
Welcome back, guys, to I'll Be Damn. It's your boy, Ann Jordan. We'll start going from here. Introduce yourself.
Lady G, Jasmine,
Sir Charles.
me, Nicole, Mary.
And we are sponsored by Sweet Beat, the rhythm of life. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button at the bottom. If you like what we talk about, make sure you hit the like. We'll go ahead and jump into this topic on abortions. We had a couple conversations in a barbershop. The men had a few conversations about men not being involved in abortions and decisions on abortion. So we want to know what the ladies think about men being involved on the woman's decision to either have an abortion or to keep a child. So we'll start going from this side. How do you feel about men having a decision on that?
I think men should have no say.
Wow.
Okay. Wait, let me walk it back.
Yeah, please give me why. You can give me why.
No say. I don't think that men should have the ability to legislate a woman's body. I'm gonna leave it at that.
To legislate a woman's body. Huh?
Yes.
I like that big ass word you used.
Right.
That was really good.
That was cute.
But we're talking about the law. I mean.
Okay. We're going to get back to that one. Go ahead. What you got?
Are we talking law or are we talking situation?
Period.
So, this is where I say my favorite line, it depends.
Oh, hell no. Did she get a shot for that one? By the way,
Because it's
as we go, YouTube, when you say something stupid, it's called a hell no button. So you say something dumb, you got to take a shot. Usually every time she say the word depends, she has to take a shot. But we're going to let her make it because this is kind of an important topic, so we're going to let her make it on this one.
But it depends.
Yeah,
So, it's situational. If you have a husband and wife who are in a solid relationship who come to the agreement an abortion is what they need to do, then yes, the man is involved. If you come to a situation where a woman is raped, does that man have a say? I don't think he should.
I think rape should be completely out.
I'm still talking.
We can get out the door.
What?
Rape is totally different.
Can I just keep talking? I still got more. In a situation where it's two young kids, are they old enough to make the decision?
They're low enough to fuck.
Correct.
Basically.
Correct. However, I think at that point maybe parents could have a say.
They do actually.
If they're a minor?
Sometimes.
Minor maybe? Okay.
Sometimes. But if you have people who aren't in a relationship and there is a baby created, do I believe that the male should have a say? I think it would depend on their situation.
So you don't know.
Well, in the sense that if the man does not want the child, I think he should have the option to walk away if that's what he wants. Whether that's paying child support, whether that's signing away his rights.
No.
We're going to let her finish.
We're gonna let her finish. You're
She has
right.
a lot to
I'm
think.
sorry.
Just more.
Triggered moment.
Bow, bow.
Correct.
I believe he is able to do that. But if he does want to be a part of that child's life, I believe he should have some sort of say in the decision.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What about you?
Overall, I'm going to say in most cases, I think no.
Why? Any reason why?
I mean, it's all situational. Like she said, it depends.
Thank you.
So I think there's a lot of scenarios that has to be broken down specific to that situation.
What's the main scenario? Like, because they're going
we'll
off
get
scenario
into that later,
situations.
but overall,
We can have that later. Okay. So what you
I would
think?
say most no.
You better say the right answer. No, I'm just playing.
No, I
Really don't
mean, to be honest, it is situational. So I do at some point think men should be able to have a decision, but then also, now it should be considered. But then it also depends too. Now, for instance, say he does, y'all make the decision, right? The man's like, I don't want the baby. Well, at that point, if you decide to have the baby, then you shouldn't hold the man responsible because he told you he didn't want it in the first place. So that's why I think it's situational.
Right. So do you think there should be laws in play for those situations? So if a man says, I don't want this child, the woman decides, I do want this child. Should that be in writing and a law in play to say she still chose
Yes,
her?
because she can't go back. She shouldn't be able to go back and get him for child support.
Yeah.
I mean, to me,
And we know that don't happen.
Or at all.
because he's already telling you, I don't want the shit, so therefore I'm not gonna take care of it. So the fact that he's telling you right there in the beginning, like.
Okay, I'm gonna give a situation here.
Please give a situation. Give the
I
normal situation that you see.
Yeah, what is
day to day.
Yeah.
The normal
Like,
situation is that they and they mess around, they're having sex.
And
She gets pregnant. The guy like, dang, I don't want no kid. She was like, well, I don't want to abort this baby. But he was like, well, I really don't want a kid. I can't afford it. I ain't in the right place. Whatever the case may be. She has the baby. He's put on child support. Then he look at a deadbeat because he don't want to take care of the kid.
So are you
so let me
saying?
ask you this. So here's my thing with that too. You don't want no kid.
But
So
you're
this is
fucking
you're having sex without a condom, but you as an adult, you should know that is a possibility for that to take place.
Right.
So therefore, that if you know you don't want no kids and you don't want to have the responsibility, then make the smart decision before.
Okay, so right here. So why are women ain't making a smart decision to not have sex with deadbeat ass niggas?
How she know he was dead?
Shit, I didn't give you a sign. I guarantee if you up here fucking this nigga
I
consistently,
mean,
he done gave you a sign that
maybe
he
not,
ain't the right
because some
dude.
people like to face.
I mean, he's already showing he's irresponsible by not putting a condom on, right?
I
They-
mean, not
they-
necessarily.
that's
Ain't the woman also showing irresponsibility by not making him put on a condom?
But all of that is.
Because just like you just
really
said, oh well.
Yeah, but
if you
she's
wanna-
deciding to keep her baby though. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
exactly. And if
So
you want-
she's
Stepping
starting
out to the
to
opportunity.
take care of
Well,
her.
are you saying that within all that situation, that he should have the right to enforce an abortion on her?
No, not forcing abortion.
Okay. So
my-
what rights should he have to
To
enforce?
not be able to pay child support. This
Right.
is all ended up.
Yeah, he should not be responsible financially for a child that he
Child
told-
support and abortion are two different things.
Yeah, but
you have
when-
to get specific.
no,
on what
because
we're
a
talking
woman,
about,
because a
right?
woman can have an abortion and there's no consequences.
Okay.
There's no consequences to her.
Okay.
She can-
Technically.
No.
What do you mean by this?
There's no
Break it down.
consequences to her. She does not have to. She can choose. I don't want a kid. The kid is not here, and she has no consequences behind it.
And she don't even have to
That's
tell
not
the dad.
necessarily
She
true.
don't have
That
to
is
tell the dad
100%
nothing.
true.
No, because what
She
if
don't
he
have
did
to
not
tell-
want that? What if he shames her? What if he exposed
doesn't
her?
matter.
That's still a consequence. to a
No,
woman.
no.
Why would you
hell
consider that a
no.
consequence?
No.
Because just like being a deadbeat, it's reputation on the line, right? That's still a consequence.
No, but the deadbeats come from not handle responsibilities. The kid's
You
not
know
here
the consequence
anymore.
for being a
They're
deadbeat
here
is child
nothing.
support.
It's child support. They're
That's
the
child
one-
support.
Say child support is your issue, not being called a deadbeat. Because
Right.
I don't think y'all
Very
really care
different.
about a deadbeat.
Yeah,
It's
no.
about child support
No.
and legal
We
obligations
do care about
to
it
pay
being
for
a
a
deadbeat.
child.
Come on, I'm a father. I 100% care about being a deadbeat. But the problem
You
is,
do, but we're talking about the deadbeats or the people who don't want to be perceived as a deadbeat. They're worried about their reputation.
They're worried
So
about-
if it's reputation and you said there's no consequence for women,
Mm-hmm.
there is a consequence,
No.
right? Because her reputation can be ruined. He can go say, "Oh, you know what? She had abortion.
So-
she killed my baby. She killed my seed.
So,
she could be shamed."
what's the name for a woman who gives a child up for abortion?
Abortion or
You mean for
adoption?
adoption?
I mean,
Because
no,
they
no,
can't
have an
give up
abortion.
Their rights also.
Have an
Or
abortion.
give a child up for
Yeah,
adoption.
I
What's
don't
the name?
even-
What's the
I don't
term?
even-
I mean, I'm not
They
sure.
don't got a
Or maybe
They
deadbeat
don't
child.
have a deadbeat
They don't
child.
have
They say a lot of
deadbeat
things.
I've heard of I've heard of an unfit mother, but that means
The child.
I mean,
yeah.
Yes.
But I've never heard of you're a deadbeat
that doesn't
mom.
mean there's not a consequence.
There's not a
That
there's
doesn't
a
consequence.
consequence.
What is the
Hold on.
consequence? Oh, you're just
I have a
affected mentally because you're being
That's
shamed or being
subjective.
talked about?
That's subjective. You wouldn't know about a consequence because you're not able to think in a woman's mind to understand the reputation.
A
Your
woman-
reputation being
okay.
exposed
Let me
in
ask
that
this. I have
way.
the
Go
perfect
ahead.
question.
Go ahead.
Some women abuse abortions and they use it as birth control.
Mhm.
So, oop, got pregnant again. Oh, gotta go get another abortion.
Yeah.
Is there a term for that?
No.
No, it's just an abortion.
There is though.
What?
And
What
it's
is
probably
it?
not more in men's eyes.
Where?
But as women.
Well, clear, when you just said that,
What
no
is
other
it?
woman, all these women don't know it. So go ahead.
What
enlighten
is
us.
it? Mary's looking
as
confused.
no.
Go ahead,
You
enlighten
agree
us.
that it is not a good thing, right?
What is it?
I mean, there might not be a term, but it's just like
You just
there's
said
so
that's
That's what I'm
Sorry.
saying.
Okay, I'm sick of this shit.
But also
let me
women
let me
don't
let me
Okay,
let me go.
define
Just say y'all
deadbeat.
don't want to pay child support.
No,
No, that's not it. It's the-
Define deadbeat.
the
Just say the
problem-
only reason why y'all having kids is so because y'all know y'all gonna get government assistance
No.
and child support.
No.
I'm not going. No.
I'm going there.
Okay,
I'm going there.
here's responsibility.
No,
You're
I
waking
can't
up in
say
the morning.
that.
You have to make sure that you have food in the house. You have to make sure that you're emotionally stable. You have postpartum. You have all these different things that you have to make sure in place. If a man is not there to take care of the child, there's no one to wager that whole experience with.
But
So
you get
from a
it's more
choice
child
to it
support
than
and you
just
get
financial-
Let her finish. Let her
It's
finish.
more to it than. Were you just raised off of financial support from your father figure? Was that all he provided for you?
no.
Are you grateful for
But
the
you're in a
fact that-
two-parent home, right?
Okay,
Yes.
exactly. Do you feel like you benefited from that?
Definitely.
Okay, so why do you feel like a child, even though they're being financially supported, will not benefit from that two-parent home?
I'm not saying that's not what I'm talking about at all.
Okay.
I'm looking at this is why I said I'm sick of this shit.
Okay.
Let's go back to it. He just said the situation 9 times out of 10 is a man and a woman getting
Okay.
together. They have sex.
Okay.
Somebody gets pregnant.
Right.
Okay. The woman gets pregnant. You have the woman that let's say sometimes women don't even want to have the baby.
Okay.
There's times like that. 9 times out of 10, the woman wants to have the baby, and the man most times doesn't want to have the baby. The man does not have a say so whatsoever
At all.
He can't do nothing.
Zero.
You can go
Because
get in
it's
a
not coming out of
pause.
his body.
That
Hold
has
on,
nothing to
hold
do
on,
with
it. It has
hold on,
everything to do
hold
with
on,
it.
hold on, hold on. There's a solution to this, but y'all not going to agree with it.
Okay.
But the man has no decision whatsoever what happens with that child. She can go get an abortion without even him knowing, and she don't go to jail. There's no consequences for that,
Yeah.
other than I guess being shamed. Who cares? People talk about each other all the damn time.
deal
You're
with
still
that
gonna
every
live
day.
and move on with your life. Now the woman can have an abortion.
Okay.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
She chooses to have the baby. The man says he doesn't want to have the baby.
Okay.
Okay, 9 times out of 10, what you gonna do? Put him on child support, and also you're getting government assistance. Okay, now hold on. Men, if they don't want to have, there should be a law in place. If the man does not want to have that child,
Okay.
and the woman still proceeds with it, the man does not have no financial responsibility whatsoever.
against that.
That is fair.
I'm not against that.
That is fair. Okay.
I'm not against that. But that still doesn't take away the fact that if a woman decides with her own body that she doesn't want to have an abortion, you're talking about after the child is born. This is not talking about abortion. You're talking about after the child has gone through this process of being created and they're born. We're specifically talking about abortion, making the decision before the child
That's
is
why, but that for what you're saying is the reason why the man should have some type of say so. Because the problem lies when the baby is here, not when we're talking about before. If that decision is made before the baby gets here, then therefore all those consequences go out the door.
Okay.
Like,
So to remedy that, do you feel like they should have like a court proceeding?
I mean, the reason I say yes and no, because one, the biggest problem is we always letting the government decide on something that has nothing to do with them. Well, that should be talked amongst the man and the woman, because now you're allowing a
we
government.
can't rely on that though. Because she can change her mind once she's in a situation
but
that
this is
she
why
doesn't have the
this is why
finances,
people
and she
have
can
to
change her
start
mind.
being adults, because now you're letting the government decide who did not have
We're
the
already
kid.
talking about a
Oh,
situation
let me
that's
finish.
not
I'll let you
adult
talk.
worthy,
Let me finish. Yeah, but you have a government
Okay.
that does not take care of the kid,
Okay.
does not have the kid, and is not responsible for the kid. So why are we allowing the government to decide what you do with a child that has nothing to do with the government? That if we were being adults and sitting as men and women and quit fighting with each other all the damn time and talk about these things, I think that can come to a solution. Because if a man say he do not want to have a child with the kid, and she's mad that the dude is no longer there, he just told you that he didn't want to be there. So when a woman says she don't want a child, she can abort it, give it up for adoption, and the man has no say so in it. If a man say I want that kid, it does not matter. So why in the hell did we don't have the same amount of say so as a woman do
Why don't
when
you have
you
the same
can't have a
equality?
child without a man?
Why
No
would I say
matter
equality?
What I'm
that
asking
child
you-
can't be here without a male.
Hold on, that was an interesting point you just said. If the woman puts a child up for adoption, the father has no financial responsibility either.
No, but
He doesn't.
But he don't have a say so.
You
if
sign,
he
you
wants
sign
that
over your
child.
rights. You
Yeah.
give away your rights.
Yeah,
so
he has-
that's it.
Yeah, he don't have.
They
that.
don't even go after child support from the father. His rights are gone.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
going. So if he wants that child, he no longer has no say so. It's in another family, and he can't do anything to get his child.
So you're coming from the standpoint father wants child, but mom has all the say so.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that
Or
happens.
or father doesn't want
So
child,
the
and mother still has all the
You don't
say
feel
so.
like we should rely
Regardless,
on the
it's
government to help us get these proceedings in these situations
No, because what?
before the baby
Tell
is
me,
born?
tell me if anything has happened with the government and child support, parenting, and all the other stuff that's helped. Give
All
me
the
one thing that the government does that's positive.
They fund it. That's the only thing the
I
government
can't give you
does.
statistics.
Nothing.
I really don't know. But
Zero.
I can't say nothing.
Because let
Nothing.
me ask a question to a lot of these ladies, and I already said it, and some of y'all looked at me crazy. Now, everybody, if the woman says, I want to have this baby, the man says, I don't want to have it.
Then I'm gonna.
And then, okay, you're going to have the baby. But would a lot of women still be having these children knowing that you're not going to get child support? Let's just say if that was in place, you won't get child support from the father, and there was no such thing as government assistance. Would you think a lot of mothers would still be having these children like that?
Majority of them probably not,
No.
but
Nope.
I mean, me if you tell me that you don't want the child, and if I decide to go forward with the process, then I'm gonna have to go with the mind frame that I'm gonna have to take care of this baby.
That's cool. That's you. That's why I asked the question
I
in
think
general.
most
Do you
What
think-
I've
percentage
seen
of women do you
women-
feel like get child support when the man says he doesn't want? What percentage of women do you actually feel like are successful in getting child support?
in
Name a
my
number.
head, all
We
of
knew a
them,
girl-
Give me a number.
We
Because I
knew
know a lot of
a girl-
people.
but I don't know the
I
exact
know a lot of
statistic.
women who take care of their
Garnish
baby
wages,
with
though.
absolutely no
There
child
are-
support, and they just wait for the father to put in whatever.
You
he
can
puts
go
in.
ahead. You can go
Give me
ahead.
the number.
You can go ahead
The
and hit that
number
Google.
that you think.
I'll have to
No,
look that
you can
up.
go hit that
No, give
Google
me the
button.
number that you think.
Oh,
you
that
have.
I think?
It's over 70%.
70-30.
You can,
70-30.
it's over 70. Go ahead and
30%
Google.
of women that are single mothers that are
Over
out here
70.
not getting child support, and there are 70% of women that are having children and are getting
child
government
support.
aid and child support. And 9 times out of 10, the child support is not used for the child, and y'all know this. If
Yep.
y'all try to argue that shit,
But how
please.
much of that percentage that is getting the child support? How much of-
70%.
Hold on.
It's over
Can I-
70%.
can I
You're asking.
finish?
I'm
No,
giving you the number.
There's more to my question.
Go ahead.
How much of that child support is actually sustainable for the child? Because you do have a lot of dads that jump job to job, do cash jobs where the government isn't tracking how much they're supposed to be giving their child.
Yeah, well, that's
Do you
that's
know
why
a
the
lot
government
of
shouldn't be
scenarios-
involved in it.
I know a lot of scenarios, very close scenarios, where there is no consistent basis of getting that money. First of all, just like you said, it's not consistent for one, and then not only that, the process has taken so long. So let's say from 0 to 5, she couldn't even get them to wait, like take the money out of his check. And then when she could, it still was like, oh, well, there's a backup, or he owes this, or there's a whole situation where, again, like you said, the government is pretty much failing her. And
I'ma
she's still
answer
not
that
getting
question
proper
for you.
compensation for the child.
I'm gonna answer that for you. You know what
To
they
where
do?
she's in a homeless situations. I mean, there's so many different scenarios where women are not.
They're not getting the money, but guess what? They still get the government aid, and they just take the man to jail. That's the whole point. Put the man in jail.
The man goes.
The man goes to jail. I want, okay, he's not paying child support. Cool, you're not gonna get your child support,
But that's what I'm saying. Y'all
we're
can
gonna put him in
choose not
jail.
to take care of your responsibility.
Okay, so
There's no
listen, but
consequence.
What if there's a scenario where the child is okay? Sure, I'm gonna do it, and then they don't take care of their responsibility.
How many mothers? Let's say now you know there are fathers out there that have full custody
No, quite a bit of.
of their child, and the
Okay.
mother is off doing whatever.
True.
How many mothers?
Or in jail
For that.
second.
That's not really.
How many mothers do you know of, or how many mothers
They
do
already
you hear about?
They already did a show on this, brother.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
I would love to see
5%.
it. I would love to see
5%.
5% of mothers are in jail
5%.
for not paying child support or not.
Because
Basically being a mother?
one, most men don't even go after the woman on child support.
Okay.
You do
I already
have
knew
to
that.
pursue it, or the state is going to ignore it completely.
I know, yeah,
if
definitely.
you do not file for enforcement, the state doesn't care, and they're not going to go after them.
You're exactly right.
But
100%.
the child support, the arrears keep accruing. They accrue interest.
Mhm.
They don't go away. They continue to.
Yeah,
just
you can now
amount,
not
amount.
get your registration sticker if
But
you
check
don't,
this.
if you're
Right.
This
behind
is
it.
So
this
how
is
do you
hold
get-
on, real quick.
Uh-huh.
This is the funny thing because you said if they don't do what, they can't get the child support.
pursue it.
So
If
that's
you
what
do not
women are
file
doing. They're
for
pursuing to get this
Of
child
course.
support for having kids, no matter if the father wanted to be there or did not want to be there.
But that's
a
also
choice that they're
you
making.
don't have to pursue.
That and that's
So
that there
as
are
a
though.
solution,
That's
what's
the problem.
what's so wrong with saying before the child is born, okay, we're gonna go to a court proceeding saying, I do not want this woman to have this child. She's choosing to have this child. I'm signing my rights to her, so she's fully responsible, and she cannot come after me for child support. What's so wrong?
That's never going to happen.
It's
Why?
not
'Cause that's not gonna
wrong,
benefit
but
the
usually
government.
The courts won't allow you to do that
Nope,
because
that's not
in
gonna
the
benefit
eyes
the
of the
government.
law, the child benefits from having both parents. Like completely
From a
forfeiting
financial
your rights
perspective.
is
Yes, you
hard
can't
to
just go do that.
You have to usually have a compelling reason for the court to say yes, you can terminate your rights completely. It's
Okay.
not super easy.
And you dealing with child support things of
I
nature.
have never got child
And
support.
for
We've
the
gotten it
situation,
maybe
we-
a
Exactly
year.
what I'm
Right,
saying.
but no, I don't know if you want to explain that situation.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm fine with
okay.
that.
It's a situation why she's not getting there. You want,
Okay.
you want to go in and
Well, to
explain?
begin with, yeah, he moved jobs a lot. So I have 2 kids. My daughter is 10, my son is 8. We've gotten child support very, very infrequently. I didn't file to have him on child support initially because I didn't care. I knew he wasn't going to really be able to provide what we
So
needed.
she's a part of that 30% that you're talking about.
Yeah, eventually we did
Nice to meet
because
you.
the whole situation got really ugly. There was some domestic violence. There was a lot going on, and I needed to get him away from us for our own safety.
Right.
So it was something that the court was like, okay, we're also going to file for child support at this time. So I was like, okay, fine, just do the whole thing all together.
Yeah.
I just want him, like,
Away
we need
from-
our peace. I need to be able to raise these kids.
Yeah.
I've never had government assistance. Usually I have just been a hair overqualifying for it, so we've never gotten it.
Okay.
At this point, we get zero child support because he's in jail. He's going to be there for a long time, and I'm choosing not to. Well, we had a court date a couple years ago, and the state was like, well, we're going to take the child support off because he's unable to pay. So it's no longer building, but the interest accrues.
Okay.
For him to terminate his rights, that'll probably be the next thing we would go to because we haven't seen him in like 5-something years.
Yeah.
So that'll be the next step. But I'm not after child support. I don't care. I've raised them completely on my own anyway. So it's not
Right.
like that was really there to help us. The government aid, the government has never really, that's not something I've pursued either.
So let me ask you this question: if beforehand, when you were pregnant with the kids, if he up front told you, I don't want these kids married, like, would you still have had the kids, and would you have expected him to do?
Personally,
Something
yes,
for the
I would
kids.
have had the kids. I would have expected nothing from him because I made that choice. We both wanted these kids, so it was a little bit different. But I do think that men should be able to, I guess I am somewhat in agreement with the opting out in the beginning. Like, if you as the man know that you're not prepared for this child, you weren't ready, I think there should be some sort of consequence because you did, like, you
Partake
slept
in
with her
sexual
and
activities.
you knew what was gonna happen.
Both
Like, you
did,
know
Yeah,
it's a potential
that, I'm not
consequence.
ready. Shit is for the
But
birds.
if you guys agree that, like, hey, he's not going to be involved, I'm going to raise the kids on my own, I do think that you should be able to do that without the state having any kind of say. And for the most part, you do have the ability to do it as long as you don't initiate any kind of court proceeding. Once you go to court, they kind of
It's a
keep their
wrap.
hands in it.
Yeah. Once you put them papers in there, it's a wrap. And then this is a situation I was in with. This dude named Eddie Curry, played in the NBA for a couple of years.
Oh, I
Yeah,
remember this one.
he. Matter of fact, before I go, I'm gonna jump to another part real quick before I go to that. There's a whole Facebook group they call "Get That Baby Bag." They want a lot. I got a girl who got to screenshot me a little piece of it because I'm not a male, so they won't even allow me in there.
Because you are a man.
Yeah, because I'm a male, so I can't see it. So they're telling women how to get the bag from these dudes having babies. So there's a whole group that they live off this. God rest his soul, our boy G.
Yes.
His baby mom, that's what she did for a living.
Yes. She did.
A living.
She
Had multiple kids by dudes who had money.
and got
And
child
what-
support. Her and her mama did it.
Yes, for child support
What
reasons.
child did he have with her? Like the second, the third?
I think it was the
I think it's the
First?
first.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
first.
There was a chick that went viral for giving the play-by-play
Yeah.
of how much she was getting from each baby
Yeah.
daddy.
And why she did it.
But
And why
That's
she
gonna
did
give the
it.
most toxic scenarios.
But these
And just like
happen
Mary
so
said-
much.
But it's a
It's
lot.
a lot,
But there's also that 30% because you don't really have the real numbers. This is just your guess.
No,
A lot
I do.
of-
71%. I told you already, but you can Google it.
71%.
It's real numbers.
A woman that
I was
single
just close.
women
What is
that
it,
are on
71%
child support.
of
Yes.
what?
Single women.
71.29.
And this is black. It's not all women. I looked up for black women.
Okay. Well, just even
it's
in your
probably higher.
situation
It's
where you
probably
were
higher.
almost forced to put him on child support, right? Because of the scenario.
Yeah, we wouldn't have gone.
Yeah.
And your situation
She
makes
didn't even.
a sense
She didn't even receive child support for
because she
most of the
couldn't.
time.
Well, because the
she
guy's in
couldn't.
jail. Okay, her guy was in jail for whatever
The whole
women.
time.
But this is the happens when you don't initially put somebody on child support and you go and try to get them for back child support. If they don't have a steady paying job, so they do anything entrepreneurship,
Right, but she, like she
you
said,
can't
we
find
both
them.
wanted these children, right? So I brought them to this party, and we thought together.
Now,
we would
he
take
should
care
be
of
on
them.
child
Now,
support
yes.
for that reason.
That's the
Right.
type of nigga that
So
should
we're
be
talking
on
about
that.
scenarios where people
Correct.
do oh yeah, I want this family with you, and then it's kind of like, no, you know, things ain't working out. I got this new girl. I'm really not feeling you. I'm not feeling the situation, and now you don't want to take care of your responsibilities.
But
that happens a lot of times
but
too.
to not take care of responsibility still comes with a consequence.
Okay.
Either pay or jail.
In jail.
But that's also not like exactly. the
That's
way
only
they're
enforced
looking
when
at
women are actually going to the government to make it
71%
happen.
of them are.
The
71%
After a
are
while,
doing
yeah,
what?
I'm sure.
71%
Are
are
still
And then if
child
the man goes to
support.
jail, you're still not
Yes.
out
receiving
of
the
those
funds.
pursuing.
You're not getting
or some of the
nothing.
men saying, I will pay child
But we don't know that because that's not. They don't document that.
But
That's
the
what I'm saying. It's
enforcement
not a
process
thing.
is different. So
That's the problem.
to
Yeah.
get enforcement, if they threaten something like they would hold you in contempt of court because you have a court order that says you have to pay this child support. So if you
Right.
don't, that's when you can file for enforcement. That's more time in court. It's more time that you have to go down there. But say he doesn't pay and they find him in contempt. Generally what happens is they'll go to jail for like the day, they pay a little bit, they sign up for a payment plan, but usually they try to keep you out of jail because for the same reason, if you're in jail, you can't make any money, you can't pay child support, you can't support your child.
And you got
They're not-
90
they do
days.
try
Within that
to
90
work with the
days,
guy.
if you have not said nothing to him, your ass will go back to jail
But there's the
for
workforce
another 90
commission,
days.
they have all kinds of ways to set people up with jobs, they have all
Yes,
kinds,
but
they try to keep
but them
out
type
jail.
of but
So
them type
basically,
of
set
people,
me up with a job
they
so I
want
can
the money.
continue to be poor.
Yeah, they
While
want
all
the
my money
money
goes
over
to
to
you?
jail.
Yeah,
That's
they
fair?
would rather that the man be out working.
It's a question. Is that fair?
Okay.
Oh, let me finish.
I mean, all
Hold
the
on.
women's money
Hold
is
on.
going to the baby.
Hold on.
Exactly.
Yes.
How much am I taking?
Yes.
Hold on.
On top of government assistance and the man's pay that you're getting, okay, a little
Okay,
portion of your
okay.
job or your money, whatever
so
you're doing.
the
Hold on,
portion
let
you're
me
getting
tell you.
is contingent upon what they make, right? So if you're
Yes.
getting $600 a month and your daycare, you know how much daycare is? Do you know how much
How much daycare is?
Okay,
Let me ask you a question.
Eggs
How
is
much do you
$7
think? How
right
much
now.
do you think? Okay, y'all have had kids.
Hold on.
Y'all
hold
had
on.
kids.
I never got to finish.
No, I want
Church.
I want a cookie.
All right.
Give me
Eddie
one.
Curry has been
I
paying
want a cookie.
Yeah.
child support
Right now.
without the government, right? So he's gave over $1 million to this woman without the government. Baby turns 18.
Okay.
So now she's like, I'm gonna go back and file for back child support because we never did it through the government. And now with receipts, with showing proof, doesn't matter. Now he
They
owes
look at
her
it as a
over
gift.
$1 million
And he owes her another $1 million.
in back child support.
That's
That's
insane.
crazy. That's crazy. We don't agree with
Disrespectful,
that.
and we're not talking about that.
But
I'm not here for
all
We
these
need
ball
to
players-
talk about it.
No, it
But
needs
we
to
need to
because
talk
all these
about it.
basketball players are going through it.
Yeah.
They're spending $100,000 a month for a child.
And you
That's
need
not
to, and let me ask you a question.
Brenner, well, that's all she do.
Yeah, that she did
Like,
that too.
it's women that go straight for that. Now, don't get me wrong. It is some deadbeat ass dudes who deserve to be penalized. But the problem is there's no penalty for women.
But let me tell you something about.
None.
So do you
Bundle
want a
Brittany or
penalty?
whatever.
Hell
No, I mean,
yeah.
the ones that do
I'm
that,
pretty
yes,
sure-
that's
Something should have happened because that, like,
They get
pretty
seduced
much
into those
is.
positions, and so I get what you're
So
saying,
y'all-
right?
So y'all
I-
stupid. Hey, calling yourself stupid.
I feel-
Stupid. Okay.
I feel like some of the men get seduced in those situations. I mean, what's her Bundle of Brittany?
Yeah.
Okay. It was giving that. You get what I'm saying? Before he got with her, it's not like, okay, I'm gonna be with this girl forever. You're not marrying her. You're not doing any of that.
I think they did get
They
married.
get married.
Okay, well, even if they did get married, I feel like
That was
it's
her
still,
plot, though.
Exactly, and I don't feel like he was younger than her. I feel like that was exactly what she wanted to happen, and he got
100%.
seduced in that position.
100%.
And I feel like
But that's it. But thing is, that's women get seduced and get knocked up.
the sucker gets licked every day.
It's-
I mean, that's Rob Kardashian with Blac Chyna. Like, it's giving that. Like, those are certain scenarios. It's kind of like, nigga, you should know better.
But is that right?
No, I'm not saying it's right.
And
That's why there should be laws in place.
I'm
happens
more so
so
worried
much.
about the men who don't have it. Rob Kardashian and them, they have hundreds.
But that's what I'm saying.
But they
You
don't
can have
matter.
it. But let me ask you a
It
question.
don't matter.
Let me ask you a
It shouldn't
question.
go to her. It's called child support, not baby mama support.
Exactly. Let me ask y'all a question real quick. I got a question.
What?
How much, like, when y'all had y'all's kids, how much did it cost, like, did you think it cost a month for a child? Like,
I think it's contingent.
It all depends.
like whatever, like,
But
like,
they say
ballpark it
typically
for
you're
me.
gonna spend about almost $1 million
$1
a year. And, well, not
no,
a year, but
to
to their
lifetime.
To 18.
lifetime.
To their
Okay,
18,
so like a
come down
month,
to
like
time.
how much, like, if you were budgeting, okay, a budget for a child, a month.
Okay, so
That-
That is for to make sure it has everything that they need, like when they're a baby.
When you have
When you're a baby, let's start off with an infant, baby.
So let's
How much
see.
you think you might need a month? to make sure that child is good.
Depends if the child in daycare or not. That's a big part of it.
Yes, daycare is like almost.
We got
depending on the low end, $200 a week. On the high end, probably about $5.
No, bump that 200 up.
Well, I mean,
But-
it's probably
but
up
cheaper
now
ones,
because
That's just
of
daycare
environment.
alone?
That's just daycare alone.
Okay,
Yeah.
5. Okay, let's just put it at 5. Okay,
So then you have
500.
daycare, then
and
you
then
have
what else?
diapers.
Mhm.
So they probably go through.
$30 per package. Then
Yes, and they probably go through a
Wipes.
pack of diapers.
Weekly, you'd be buying
A crib.
box.
If you buy the big box, it could probably last you maybe 3 weeks.
Mhm.
So then that's about what, $30 to $50.
But as the child gets
Okay.
older, it gets less expensive and then more expensive. When
Right,
it gets to
I
the
get
middle,
that.
Yes, in the
it
middle.
kind of dies out.
And
So,
that determines
The
if you want
point
your
I'm
kids
trying to get to is
sports or whatever.
Mhm.
Now, $100,000. If that's what you're. No, it doesn't cost $100,000.
It doesn't cost
to take care of.
$10,000.
that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking about
So-
1,000,
so-
1,000 a
so-
month. Like just I'm thinking as a
I would
child
say
as a baby.
I would say 12 to
Way more than
1,500.
that.
Okay, 12 to 1,500, $1,500.
Yeah.
But then you see, but every time somebody's put on child support, whether they're an athlete or just a regular Joe, it 15,000. It seems like it's 2,000.
It's never a regular Joe.
But it's
regular
reg-
Joes don't get
so-
get that. But it's most of the
It's
famous
ridiculous.
people. Yes, they get.
It's-
That is a substantial
It's
amount.
contingent
of
upon how
money.
much you make.
But it's still a percentage. Of
Yeah,
it.
it's all about
So
how much you make.
If they're
Like
making
so,
it,
if you're making a certain amount of money, they take more, of course, like just like taxes. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So they're gonna take a certain amount of money out, but it's never gonna take $10,000 a month for a child.
So
Most
$1,500, my
households don't make
$1,500
$10,000
alone
Exactly.
is taking care of this child, and I would like to think that my baby mama is working, and her money is just
Take care of the bills.
okay.
He doesn't agree with that.
Hold up. Say
I
that
don't
again.
really realize
Hold
how much.
Hold up.
I'm
say
just
that
saying
again.
how money's being dispersed. You know.
Well,
you know,
my issue with it is when it comes with the money part of the child support is that the money is not going to the child.
never.
Some of it might.
Like a lot
Shanique,
of
be
it.
quiet.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Like, no,
believe-
if you're
I
you
believe-
sending money and I use the money
Listen to
for the
this.
child.
Oh,
Listen to this.
what?
The average child support order, according to the 2010 Census Bureau,
Mm-hmm.
is $430
A month.
monthly.
for one child. Yeah.
That's 2010, right?
Okay, that's 2010.
Okay,
we
so-
at 23.
Again, exactly. So think about how expensive life is just right now. You've got gas, getting the baby to the daycare. There's so many
But
different
thing
things.
is,
They
the
should have
child
to
support.
pay for
But
it.
that's
I
not.
mean,
That's
like-
the
They're
thing
not
is-
paying for the gas, but
So
you
you telling
need
me you
these
think
things
that
in
men
order
are
to-
just paying child support now and is involved
Child
in kids
support
are not
means
paying
supporting
nothing else?
child, not
Say
supporting gas.
Men,
not
men are
supporting
taking
rent.
it's child support coming out on top of them still having their child.
I'm
Because
just
if you-
talking about all the expenses that would solely be on the woman, on top of like rent or mortgage or just anything, just the baseline
Trying to
stuff.
live
not-
in a good school district.
Yes,
you
all
wanna
of
be able
those
to do
things.
Those things.
Therefore,
If-
that's
if
the irresponsible
$430 is
decision
how
that
much
you
that
made
they-
to not do
Exactly,
it.
because rent and all that does not have anything to do with the child.
It
It
does,
does.
though.
Because it
Oh,
affects
well, y'all gonna
the
say,
baby.
oh, it provides
I
a
need my
loophole
baby
in their
to be in
head.
the same
Child
group.
support, straight to
You're going to be living in
Child.
that place and that baby was there or not.
Exactly.
Not
So-
necessarily.
Yes.
You are.
No,
necessarily.
You need a place to live regardless
So
of whether you have
you
a
gonna
child or
live in the
not.
street?
So how is it,
So, if I'm a single woman and I want to live in downtown Dallas, my mindset will change if I have kids. I will not want to live in downtown anymore.
that's not true.
Downtown can be more
That's not
expensive
true,
than
because
here.
people's mindsets don't change.
Okay, I'm speaking for
That's
me.
why the
People go for the
suburbs-
bag.
I'm not
That's
even
exactly
behind
right.
have a family lifestyle when people live in the suburbs because I gotta get my baby. Okay, I'm gonna be in a parking garage. How am I gonna get just a single woman? I gotta get my baby out the parking garage. Is it safe for me to be doing that with a child? So she might not want to live in a downtown area because of the environment is not really safe for just her and the baby. She might want to be able to be in a place where she can have a garage. Things like
You
that.
can only be in places that you can afford.
Let the kids run outside.
It's just that
Okay,
simple.
so with that, with
Sorry.
with the numbers I just gave you,
Yes.
it says $107.
Wherever you can afford, that's where you're gonna be. So if you gotta be where all these game bangers and parking garages are,
That's where you gotta be.
so sorry. So sorry.
And
Really?
you would accept your child being there.
Oh, I didn't accept nothing.
If he
'Cause
doesn't
let's say if I was one of those
want the
niggas
child-
that did not want the child,
If he doesn't want the
you
child,
need to think about these things before you have this
They're
damn
not
child.
thinking
Because if you're gonna be
about
by yourself, you need to start thinking about these things.
See, and then I think a
That's
lot
what I'm
of
saying. Women don't
What
think.
happens if she get hit
Except for
upside
when it
the
comes
head?
to the bag.
What happens if she get hit upside the head and she get robbed while she trying to take the baby out?
Well,
Boy,
he
you
don't
gotta take
care
care of the
because
baby.
he just said
They don't give a damn.
You gotta let go and let God.
In general.
That door is gone.
So that wouldn't matter to him.
Okay,
No,
so
I mean-
now you might have to.
What-
Will he not have to adopt the baby because he's
What-
the next of kin for the
what's
baby?
the
Like, what do you
purpose-
want
Or I
to
can
do?
give him my rights. I can give him my rights. I can
Okay,
Okay,
get
now
that
you
out.
get away your
And
rights.
then it'll go to.
You'll never know that.
Now, mind you, I'm not saying that I'm this
this
dude. I'm just thinking in the mindset of
You'll
one of
never
those
know
dudes.
that.
Okay.
Because
Jazz, don't give me
unfortunately,
that look.
I got to, 'cause
our
shit, how are you
decisions
able to
are
even
not
do that?
made in court like that. Unfortunately, we don't get a say so in it. So you'll never know the percentage of the guys who want them. You'll never know the percentage of the guys who don't want them.
Is it a majority?
Most,
Either way?
I put it like this: men. I don't know any men who do not want their child. I don't know any. And I know a lot of
Have you
damn
ever
people.
encountered any men or like throughout your whole life that been like, I'm not ready for a kid?
We don't put ourselves
Never.
No, not ready, but not handle the responsibility of it.
Right, yeah.
Most women are not ready.
Nobody's
And-
ready.
Like-
When you say want, I don't know. That just kind of feels like
I'm going off of what men talk about, and I know a lot of them, quite a bit of them.
Sometimes
And I've never met a guy that said I don't want this damn kid.
Now I will admit that I have been one of those guys that if I, let's say if my girl thought she was pregnant,
okay,
in my head I'm like, damn, I'm not ready for no baby.
right?
But
You gonna have the responsibility,
exactly,
right?
yes, that's my whole entire mindset.
Okay.
Now you got some dudes like, nigga, I ain't ready for no baby.
Okay,
I don't
so
want
what
no
if you decided? What if it didn't work out and y'all decided, okay, now things are just it's not working out for me, right?
Mhm.
So at that point in time, would you still wouldn't want to be on child support?
What do you mean?
If things didn't work out and you guys have a child now, you still don't want to be on child support.
No, because I'm gonna take care of my
No,
child.
yeah, because I'm gonna take care of my child.
I don't
There's
need
no
to be
reason
child
to
support.
put a man on child support if he's taking his child, especially if he's
No,
taking,
it's not.
if he's getting custody
There's
of
no
his
point
child
of
as
that.
well. Like y'all got split custody.
Okay.
What's the point of putting me on child support? If you know a woman like that
That
is got-
happens often where
Yeah.
men feel
Then
like
those
they're
are
taking-
ancient
and women
women.
will still exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not contesting the fact that there are
Okay.
ancient women and ancient men.
Yeah,
What
we know-
I'm
we
saying
know
is,
a
what
few.
is the solution? What is a solution that you feel like will remedy this issue with women getting abortion and men feeling like they don't have a say? Like, what
So
could y'all?
the solution would be, he said don't put it in law hands, but that's the only way there would be a solution.
Don't put what?
You said don't put it in the government.
No. I'm saying like it should happen before the man and the women should happen
Before you even had it, right?
But that can't really
But-
be trusted in all situations.
No, nothing can be trusted. The government, we trusting them.
No, we don't. But at least if it's legally written.
That's
or-
why I say it should be a
Right,
consequence
law-abiding.
for a woman, just as well as it should be a consequence for a man.
Okay.
So that's
women
why-
are put on child support though. If you give up
Some
custody
of
of your
them are.
children,
We're not saying that it's
you
they're
have
not,
the
but
option
it's
of
Mary.
putting women on child
it's
support.
rare,
God.
Mary.
It does happen.
Only girl I know that was on child support was Britney Spears.
It doesn't happen.
Kevin
often.
Fairline played the hell out of her. And so that's the only woman I know that's
I
ever been put on
believe
child support.
A good
It's not
solution
common.
would be if everything is documented
Mhm.
whenever one, child support is given, or two, if a father is, I mean, everyone should keep track of their finances.
Which
would-
don't matter in court.
It does it.
But
He just
what
in
I'm
that
saying is, I
situation.
think if something were set in place to where that was reasonable,
Well,
like
and
to
the
hold
crazy-
everyone accountable,
The cra-
to where
Mhm,
if
mhm.
someone's giving $10,000 a month for child support
Uh-huh.
because it is court mandated,
Mm-hmm.
the mother needs to keep a log of everything she's spending on the child, not getting herself done, but on the child.
Give me another cookie. That's what I want.
What?
Because you are in fantasy land. A log?
Yeah.
Ain't no woman keeping no, they keeping a log of how much they get in a month. They ain't keeping no
Correct.
log.
That's what I'm
Well, he
saying.
gave me $50 for this yesterday and then another 30 for that.
That's what I'm saying. You're
You're
holding,
holding up to about 400.
at
doing
this
his
point,
job.
you would be
That's-
holding the woman accountable for the expenses, right?
He sat here and said, Shanique, regardless of what the man is giving, even if she keeps a log, it's
Doesn't matter.
considered as
No.
a gift.
And did you not hear
No,
me
she's
when
talking
I
about she
said-
think it needs to be mandated to where that should actually count for the male. Like if the man is spending this much money,
Mhm.
it should be able to where the court she come back and try to quote unquote get more money from him. That it should be
His receipts.
his receipts should
I
matter.
paid this amount for his clothes. I
His
paid
receipt,
this
yeah.
amount for.
His
Oh, you're
receipts
saying that
I paid
should
this
matter.
amount
It should
for-
matter.
Oh, in a good world, yes,
Yeah.
it should. But in this world, it's never going to matter.
And the thing is, it's not.
It's nice to think about.
Unfortunately, the government does not work in a man's favor, especially ours.
They want us
So-
out of y'all's homes.
So therefore, I think what women need to really start doing, because what happens is a lot of women have the baby thinking she can still keep the man after he said he didn't want to be with her. So she gets here thinking that the baby is going to make everything all good. But this dude all thinking that I don't want this baby in the first place. So first thing I think is women should start taking that for face value. When a guy say something drastic as I don't want a child, he probably means that. So do not make the decision thinking that you're going to be able to keep this man once you have a baby.
Okay, but going back to what you were saying, most of the dudes you know have never said they don't want the child. correct?
What?
Most of the dudes you know have never said they don't want the child.
No, I know a lot of women, a lot of guys that say I don't want the woman.
But why
Correct.
would they wrap up in those scenarios?
Why don't y'all make us wrap up? If you know that we ain't got no condom on, you can say, hold on, brother. You ain't entering me without this damn condom. It does take two, so stop using that as an excuse.
because-
saying, hey, why is he not wrapping up? Because we have to enter you.
Y'all
without a
control
condom.
sex.
Stop it.
Women control sex, period.
Stop it.
So if you say you ain't getting it in without that rubber, you like, damn,
I
I'm
want to
going
go
to
to
settle
pinky
it
jazz for a second. Shut the
Shit.
fuck. Shut. Did I say? Oh, shit. Say it again. Say something else. Say something else. No.
And I ain't playing.
Every woman uses that as an excuse. Oh, well, he should have wore a condom. No, you should have stopped him from entering your ass.
That's the problem. It's like
Never hold accountability
It's
for
not-
they said.
I mean,
it's not
like,
saying it's not the same accountability here.
In words, the
the man is
when
always
you need
at
it.
fault for getting away with
Everything. It's
pregnant when
50-50.
you
Like we can't do it
No, I'm
without
talking
y'all.
about in the scenario that he just gave where a woman doesn't take the man at face value, right?
Yes.
And the man will say, oh, but
I
I
don't-
don't want to be with you, I don't want to be with you, I don't want to be with you. And he's
Right.
still having sex with you. And so in the woman's mind, when she's already has this distorted
That mean her mind-
mentality-
Because y'all's
Fucked up.
mind is fucked up because y'all think just because a nigga's fucking you, he wants to be with you. No, he just
So what
loves
about
pussy.
the nigga's mind?
We just want pussy.
The
It's
nigga done
simple.
told you he didn't want the kid.
So if he don't want the kid, therefore he don't want you. He don't want to have a kid with you. He don't want to have God's gift with you. So what does he want? Just only
Just some
your
ass.
pussy.
Just some ass.
Just face it. Just,
But the woman
just
be
accept
thinking that
it.
this sexual encounter that we're going to have is going to make him change.
Like, yeah, oh my
No.
God. Oh, well, we're having a baby. Maybe this will get him to come around and be with me. No, and then you know what? You get mad. And then you get mad, child support. For the rest of your life till you're 18.
Have you ever been with a woman that was pregnant?
Huh?
I want a cookie on that one.
What the day is?
Go ahead.
What the day is?
Have you ever been with a woman?
Have I ever been with a woman that was pregnant?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Okay, and how'd that situation go?
Ooh.
Was it your baby?
Let's just say that.
God damn.
So I was with my high school sweetheart 5 years. I think she got pregnant twice,
Okay.
and we both agreed that we were not ready to be parents. So she did have
Oh,
an
so you've
abortion.
been through this. Okay.
Yeah, I've been through this.
Okay.
Luckily, God just blessed me with women that just thought, had some sense in their head.
Okay.
So I'm thank you, God. So, but I could imagine where I would be if I was fucking with these women today.
See, my thing is, no matter what, if I didn't want the child or not, I'm not aborting the child because the child did not do anything wrong.
Did it? It did.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking someone who chooses to do that. But at the end of the day, that's what we're made here to do. Be fruitful, multiply, and subdue it. So
I
therefore,
will go ahead and say,
I
I don't really see it like that when it comes to abortion of like,
The-
you know, that fetal, like it's like the child did nothing wrong. I don't
Because you sat here
I'm
and
able
made
to-
an irresponsible decision, and you want to penalize a child for your irresponsibilities.
So what about special needs children? If they can tell in the womb if something's wrong, do you agree in abortion at that point?
I do.
Yes.
At first, I was against that, but I understood because you don't want to bring a child in
That
with that, knowing that they're going to
they don't even get to
have
have
special
life.
needs and need all that.
They don't
attention.
even really get to have
Yeah,
life.
yeah, they really
No,
don't.
I-
Yeah.
They can if you're having a Down
It
syndrome.
is
baby.
depending on what's going on
There
with
are
you.
some things that you can pick up on an ultrasound.
Yeah, if you get a child that's coming out that's gonna be in a
Aware.
wheelchair her whole life and can't speak or
Yeah,
anything,
you don't.
that's
want to
kind of, you know,
you don't want.
I don't knock someone who decides that I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
I
can
wouldn't be mad
understand.
at that.
Well, the problem now though is that the laws are okay. If we restrict abortion at 6 weeks and you don't find this out until 20 weeks, then you have no choice, and that's the problem
Right.
that we're running into.
Now the rape thing,
Well, now
I think
you don't
100%
have-
shouldn't be on the guy.
Yeah.
All right.
That shouldn't be on the guy. That's when no matter what, the woman have 100% say so for that. If there's rape being involved, your mom, your daddy, I don't care. No one should have like say so on that but them because it's not fair to
Okay,
a
so
woman who was forced in that situation.
So with the law being now that you can't get an abortion,
In some states, not all.
well, majority of them.
Dry
right?
Oklahoma.
A lot of them. So now they're doing the.
So now, I mean, like, y'all ain't got no say so,
But,
no way.
Yeah,
so,
but you gotta realize that. Let's be the real term of why that's there. That's not because.
I mean, we know that,
yeah,
but
that has nothing to do with
but
they
even-
care about your safety and
I
pro
think
life.
more men
But-
will start
but
taking male
still.
birth control. Like,
Oh, I
Oh,
would
no.
sign me the fuck up.
Well, no,
please.
they're
What?
getting a lot
Drip-
of
drip
men
'em.
getting calling to
Shit.
get vasectomies after that launch.
Do you know-
They had so many men calling them.
Do
like,
you
yeah.
know
How much
if we can go to the
It's not a bad
goddamn
idea.
pharmacy,
Do it.
if I can go to CVS and take a pill to not get a girl pregnant,
Nigga, I
we
will
gonna be
have-
in this bitch like
I will
this.
have a member card. Have my refills ready, nigga. Nigga,
That's
I will,
gonna be us.
nigga, I will be a
We
fucking
gonna have
addict.
no problem doing that.
Nigga, I will double up 2 a day. I
Yeah.
don't care what it does to
So
me.
why
Nigga,
Pop the balls like Skittles.
nigga, what?
So why don't men just get vasectomies?
You just actually, that's the crazy shit ever. A pill to cut my dick? That's too no.
And what if they change their mind and they still want
No.
it?
You can
later?
No.
Yeah.
So what would you rather do? Get your
You
tubes
can't
tied?
reverse
Get
that.
your tubes tied or
You
take a
cannot
pill?
reverse it.
Surgery.
But
You
I'm
can't
saying,
reverse that, Shanique.
Yes, you can.
No, you cannot.
Yes, you can.
No, go on. No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
I believe.
Is
Hold
there two
on,
different
hold on. I
kinds?
believe you can. And sometimes a vasectomy, you can still get pregnant if a man does have. It's a chance.
Yes, burn
You
them
can.
or just tie them. So the
That's
tie
what
them
you
you
gotta
cannot,
do.
but the burn can't.
The burn is
So
done.
that's the
They
same
have
thing
you
as a
come back
vasectomy.
in.
the
and
ties
they
can
test it
actually
to make
reform
sure
in your
that
own
there's
in your
no-
body.
I
Yeah,
don't know
but
what
once you cut our shit off,
Yeah.
there's no reattaching that shit.
So that's what I'm saying. You asked us that question,
I don't
Shanique.
really
You would
know.
rather
Yeah.
just get your tubes tied and take a pill? Which one would you rather do?
I mean,
Well,
Just
that's
had a guy
major
do it
surgery.
last week, honestly.
right.
One of my
Major
clients did it
surgery
last week.
versus what?
A very
One of my
simple-
clients did it last week.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's
it's
done
not
but.
a huge deal.
Yeah, my brother
He's
had
a
one
dumb
daughter
boy.
and he did it immediately.
Okay, so it says almost all vasectomies can be reversed. However, this does not guarantee success in conceiving a child.
Correct.
So
But
it's
it can be
slim.
reversed.
Okay.
You're not having no babies though. I promise you that.
You definitely not.
Yeah,
Men have been waiting for the day, bro. That's like Jay's coming out. We all lined up,
Y'all been
ready to
waiting
get birth control for niggas.
We
We've been waiting.
think we won't take it. Now the
What?
thing is, I do understand it messes with your body,
Shit.
like your periods and your hormones. Like it's risky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I understand if women don't want to do it and the man has to be more protective, but rolling back to the abortion law, that's the reason why I feel that men should have some type of say so because of the consequences. I mean, not even necessarily just the child support. Is that we have.
Are you saying some type of
absolutely no
say so in women getting one when they don't really want to? What
No. Like say,
I don't
if a
agree with
man want a child
Right.
and the woman is pregnant, he should have some say so if she aborts that child.
Yes.
Right.
Just like if she says she want the child and he say he don't, she can have it and he has no say so.
He has no say so,
But
but,
she-
he don't
but-
have no financial responsibility towards that child.
But we know
If he
that don't.
want to.
But that ain't how
But it ain't gonna happen like
So
that.
I'm saying like we don't have a say so and we get penalized.
So in that case, do you think that the woman should be forced to provide for the child, not just from like the financial aspect, but like nurture the child and raise the child? Or
If-
do you think that she should hand the baby over to the male as soon as it's
If he wants the child and she don't,
Then I don't.
yes, give me full custody like the woman take full custody.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, because if I want a child, I could care less about her needing to take care of it. I'm cool. Like so, no.
And
I-
niggas ain't out here just going for child support like that. We ain't going anywhere for child support.
no.
And that's true. Most men don't put the limit on it.
Because we already have that mindset,
We-
nigga.
We have to take
We
care
have
of
to
it
take
anyway.
care of everything any damn way.
Right.
And so-
Provision is, that's a natural instinct in men's minds.
So we'll
Provide for
we'll
her.
go around the board. Are you okay with a man having a say so in abortions if that's the case? So that scenario there.
Yes, with the scenario gig. Yes,
Okay.
I
What
do.
about you?
I agree.
You know, I agree.
Wait, go back over the scenario.
Jazz?
If the woman says she does not want the child, the man says he does want the child. So if she has the baby, she can give the baby directly to the man to have full custody of the child, just like the man would do the woman.
Having been through 2 pregnancies, I disagree on this one. I think if the woman wants to abort, that unfortunately just the man.
So you think the man just gotta be asked out and just have to go with it?
It's
That's
so
crazy.
much to put your body through. It is
But
so much.
that's a choice you made.
I know.
So deal with the consequences.
That's just my opinion.
Is that their consequence? All that pain they gotta go through?
No, that's
Pregnancy?
Eve. That's Eve consequences.
Oh, okay,
She
you
be
right.
allowed to
You're
abort
right.
the
Yeah,
baby
he did
even
that.
if he
Yeah.
wants
Y'all
the
should
baby.
have been out
In
the
my
truth.
opinion, she should still be allowed.
Just
to
saying.
abort, but that's my opinion.
So why we gotta get penalized because Eve dumbass bit off the tree?
I don't
Why
know.
we be penalized for it? That's what y'all feeling.
Even old Adam was
We
trying
are.
to,
We get penalized.
That's why I got cramps. and labor pains.
We get cramps too when we run too much.
Are-
Yeah, when we drink too much water and run too
You don't
damn
get it every
fast.
month.
They're not the same
They
type
live
of
by
cramps.
double standards.
That's y'all bad.
Double
It ain't our bad,
standards.
it's-
I know you're not a woman sitting here talking about double
We just had the
standards.
conversation.
Shit, part of you.
Oh hell no.
So
That's
Double
a topic
standards.
for another day.
So, hold on, what was that?
She said, "Wow, these double standards that mean." I said, "I know you're not a woman sitting here talking about double standards.
Stop it.
I know you're not talking about double
That is
standards."
definitely, that's another podcast.
That's why I said that's a topic for
But-
another day.
We just make it easy on this one, all right? Y'all body, y'all choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our sperm, our turn.
Our
To
money.
be fair too, sometimes
Our
men get
sperm, our
women-
turn.
Sometimes men get women pregnant on purpose and then won't leave them.
Don't say what? Say that
yes,
again.
that's
Like sometimes men will trap women with a baby.
They're not gonna talk
Yes.
about that.
Oh,
They're only gonna talk about
yes.
all the
That's
men who
happened.
do everything.
That's called a nigga want a concubine.
Because
They just want concubines. That's like nigga. You see, it's like a nigga having a whole bunch of fly ass cars in the garage. Nigga, look at all my baby.
Mary.
Look how fine they
Do
are.
you know,
Got
at
all
the
my
end of the
babies.
day,
That's
we
just
can't
a flex.
technically trap y'all.
No,
Because if you don't want us
If you
around,
don't want to
we ain't
have
around.
it, you don't have to have it.
So men can't trap women now. That's weird.
No, how?
How can we trap you?
How?
How can we trap you with a baby?
Men
How
can't.
can a, okay, this is how a woman can trap.
no
right?
trap as far as like having, like she said, get you pregnant
Uh-huh.
and then leave. So
How's that
yeah,
trap?
they
That's a trap.
they want a baby
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
And we still get penalized.
But talking about you can
can't
still
technically
abort that
trap
baby.
you.
You can't get trapped with something that you can control.
No. What I'm saying,
Gloria, let's not go there.
I'm
You're
saying
trying,
something
but you're hella reaching. You're hella reaching.
I'm saying that men will use a
Killing it
child
right
to
there,
try to
bro.
stay in your life.
Yes.
Ask me how I know this one.
Key word, try.
Yeah.
Y'all still have the choice. We
Well,
don't have no
I mean,
choice.
no.
Yes, we have the choice.
Y'all have the choice. We don't.
Key word. Listen to that word. Choice.
Choices.
Okay.
Choice.
But what I'm saying is, okay, like say
God give you choices, the government don't.
You have the kid. The
No
kid
choice.
is a couple of years old. Everything goes absolutely south. It's a horrible situation.
Uh-huh.
You need to leave as a woman.
Uh-huh.
This man is like gonna use every custody, every visitation drop off, every single opportunity he can
Mhm.
to get at you, make your life as miserable as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough. That does happen.
And you can say, hey, you can have full custody of the child. You ain't got to deal with it.
I'm
Or,
not giving.
Let me
Let the
finish.
man talk.
Let me finish.
Let him talk.
Let me finish. Or if he don't want to pay child support, he has no rights and keep it moving. It only happens when you're in the system and on child support. He has rights only when he's on child support.
If you don't
If he
set
ain't
up
on-
custody,
But if he ain't on child support, he ain't got no right.
okay, so I'll share a personal story with you guys. If you don't set up custody, you run the risk of. My kid's dad came to our house one night and knocked on the door, and my daughter answered the door. She wasn't supposed to, but I was taking care of a newborn, and it's really hard to do a lot of things all at the same time. She answered the door. He picked her up and left. I called the police. Not a thing they can do about it because
Yeah,
it's
it's
her
not
father.
kidnapping.
Mm-hmm.
It's a father.
They don't care. Unless you have a custody agreement. So we had no involvement of the state at all until that happened, and I said, I can't ever let this
His
happen.
name on the birth certificate?
Yes.
Was he on child support at the time?
No.
So, because his name was on the birth certificate and he
Exactly.
signed, he was
He
fine.
could take off with her and never come back, and there would be nothing that I could do.
With that being said, you could choose that this man not be in her life, not sign child support, and he can never do nothing. That's
He wasn't
still
on
a,
child support.
no.
That's what she said.
He could not sign the birth certificate.
But
You
they
can
were
say-
together at
you
the
can-
Yeah, but they were together.
But no, but it's one of those
What I'm
situations
saying is,
that
y'all, no
She
matter
said
what,
after
y'all
the
have
scenario went
choices. We don't
completely
have
south.
none.
you didn't know who you was
How
having.
was
Like,
the
you didn't
choice
really
that he
know who you was
kidnapped his
having a
daughter
baby
from her
with.
mom?
Like,
Huh?
it's just she didn't know who she was really having a baby with. Like
No,
niggas switch
No,
up.
people change.
No, that's what I'm saying. Niggas switch up. So that's just an unfortunate circumstance.
That's a shitty
Okay.
circumstance.
But if you know, not a lot of women know.
But
Who they
some
father
women
about to
don't,
be?
and some men don't know who they're having a baby with. Just like some women.
I
don't.
agree with you on that.
But
But
change.
what I'm talking about at the end of the day, a woman still have the choice. The man has none. We don't have any choice. We are completely ran through the woman and the government. We don't have a say so. But we have to go and pay all the consequences
in their
behind it.
situations,
And we have
in
to have
their
the term
situations,
baby.
you do have a choice.
No, you don't.
If you're yes, okay, I hate to use your scenario as an example, but you just said 2 times. Luckily, you were with a woman who also understood that you guys both equally were not ready. So those are fair situations where together they made the decision.
That's what should happen.
That's half his choice.
Like,
But if she says no, it doesn't matter what
It don't
he
matter what the
says.
hell I say. She can
That's
still
what I'm
have it.
talking about.
But at the same time, y'all got into the situation the first time, and then you did it again, right?
Yeah, we did.
So this just goes back to be mature, make adult decisions, and we won't get into these.
I mean, we all know that, but we just talking about the equality aspect of it.
Because you're supposed.
It's
at the
not
end of the
equal.
day, you're going to have some type of.
A lot of women like to talk about
Logistics.
men and women being equal, but it's like, nigga, there's a lot of shit that men are not equal opposed to certain
There's a lot of
situations.
shit women are not equal.
I mean, we understand that.
And when we
Men and
have
women
a body
are
out of
not
our
equal.
baby, have a baby out of our body, I think that should
Men
really be our choice.
I got a baby in my body right now.
got a whole bunch of.
Got billions of them in my body.
Okay.
Ready to shoot out.
Well, you need to be in control of who you give them to.
How about you stop me?
But y'all
And I won't have to give
realize
it to you.
women go through more because of pregnancy, right?
Chance, you don't want to go there with me. We can do this all
That has
night.
nothing to do with a man.
Okay.
That has
That's
nothing to do with
pregnant.
us. But that has nothing to do with a man. It's nothing that we control. You think if I had sit here and had a baby, give a baby to my wife, and I can control what she went through, that I would not try to stop the pain that she would go through?
But you can't.
My point exactly. We don't control it.
So some things are
But
just
neither
not
do the
fair.
women, though. We don't control. She can't control what she goes through.
Now the only thing is that if I knew that I would have complications ahead of time with my baby, then no, whether you want it or not, it was gonna be gone. Because if it had a choice of me, like not being here,
Right.
then you're not gonna have
And
that choice.
sometimes that's
No
the
man will want that
scenario-
anyway, like-
Sometimes
I
that's
mean,
the
you
scenario
never
that
know,
also makes a woman
but-
choose to abort. Maybe she had a miserable pregnancy with her first child. She decided, you know what? I don't know if I can do this again. Last time I got preeclampsia, it almost killed me. I was on bed rest for 9 months. I didn't have any help. He's not really a supportive father, so I'm not gonna do this the second time. He could say, I'm gonna be great, I'm gonna be wonderful, but ultimately it's her body and her choice. What if they're telling her it's gonna make her have a stroke after, or she's gonna be
Those circumstances, when it comes to dealing with your life,
okay?
is
So it's
different.
always circumstantial.
But that's not what
Everything
we're talking about.
that
Stuff with the
scenario
man
is-
and the woman. Stuff that has to control. Men agree with that. If it's going to have where you've been raped or you can die from it, that's totally different. We're talking about with the
But
specifics
majority of the
man
circumstances
and
that
women.
you see in society
If
is
y'all having
two
make
people
bad
coming together,
decisions.
yes, and
So,
they making a
so
bad decision.
therefore, we're in this on this. That's
Yeah.
everybody that start. Even tell your friends, tell people you're around that may be messing with a deadbeat nigga, messing with a deadbeat chick, to make sure that you make the right decisions and the people you with. Follow the signs. Y'all body, y'all choice. Our sperm, my turn. I'll be damned. We out.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.